Is that what that is?
Probably not.
They're supposed to go out together. That's weird. Yeah, I mean.
Oop, I just shut that one off.
She actually wrote about it in her, no, that's so odd. She went and helped with him and helped him, see, they used to go out together, so when the puppies come out.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
And I mean, I've never even tried them
No,
to
I
get
know
them.
it's not, that's so odd. Not to mention, yeah, because you're supposed to start now, like, guess what? Yeah.
Yeah, now one's going on.
And you rub them until they're.
Oh.
Both of them works.
Oh,
She did.
well.
Yeah. You know, 8 p.m. It's not real. She did.
So yeah, let me try. to get if I can get the most figure out.
They were fine the other day. I think the hardest.
Unless they're both on at the same time, so maybe if I'm taste this one.
Who's Leslie?
For that.
Not the way she spells
But
it.
you know, the whole thing. Certainly.
Oh,
That's Leslie.
Yep.
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
No, except that
Let's
was.
try this one. I'll just go back and forth. When you guys wanna watch.
The remote, we don't put both of them on at the same time. Yeah, I know.
Well, I'd like to have that one so I can see who's here.
Yeah, no.
No, shut the other one off. Okay, we're gonna go on.
We got, why is it in either or?
You gotta.
If we unplug one.
Oh, don't do that, don't do that.
No, we'll just shift over there. Put this one on so that Mary Ann can see what's here.
Okay, try to-
I'm just gonna shift over there.
All right, we'll call the meeting in order. I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes of the March 26th meeting of the Board of Selectmen and the March 31st special meeting of the Board of Selectmen. Dean, second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
No communications, appointments, resignations, first selectmen's report. We've got some, we're gonna talk about it, towards the end of the agenda under new business, but the budget, we met with the Board of Finance. We're gonna go back. They had some thoughts we wanna address. Again, special thanks to Linda Gomez for all her hard work. I wanted to mention Mark Showalter retired. Mark was with us for about 3 years, really elevated the building and property department. As people have commented on the lawns and everything. He just did a great job and we wish him the best. I had a communication today from Linda Frank. When she brought up a really interesting point, she said. There's a lot of vacancies on conservation. And it's becoming tougher and tougher. And she said, why don't we fold that into sustainability? So I'd like us to give that some thought. I know Jay, I think I believe in the past has talked about it and that they're on board, right? I mean, just. It's just tough. It's a tough thing to fill. There's been a lot.
What's the process to do that, Jim?
Well, I've reached out to Randy because I'm not sure how, I know it's legal. You don't, the state of Connecticut does not require a municipality to have a conservation commission.
Right.
But I'm not sure how we dismantle it, so to say. And the only other thing I have is the access road for the wells up at the transfer station were finished by our public works and the well company will be out next week to drill the wells. And the only thing we need in specs is a 2-inch pipe and then first water hit, and that's all they need to test. So they'll go out and do that. I'm just keeping an eye out for Jay because he said he would be late, but
Speaking of wells, anything on the, what am I trying to say? The land. Phil, yes, thank you.
That's what this is.
that's what these wells are.
Those are the test wells.
Right, so the first set dug last year were for surface water, and now this is the second set, which determines groundwater.
Okay. The results on the first ones are,
The company summed it all, I mean, it's a long report, but they summed it all up in
oh, I think I remember.
as it's what they would expect to find.
Right, I
at a
remember now. Right.
landfill. And that's all I had, Dean.
Yeah, nothing for me this week.
Now see. I don't know what to bring in. Old business, so new business, so we met with the Board of Finance, the board had a lot of good questions, some concerns. One of the things they wanted to do was bring. EDC is gonna provide numbers, Michelle.
Yep.
I talked about it a little bit, the technology of Sandra Max can tell how many hits we had, how many visits, et cetera, et cetera. Their other concern was the Board of Selectmen's, COLA. They wanted reinstated in the budget and an additional $200,000 from the citation cameras to offset the capital. So I would make the motion that we submit or forward to the Board of Finance the budget as revised.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Visitors will start online. Hi Leslie, hi Ray, anything? Questions, comments? Ray, no, Leslie's good. Todd?
Yeah, it's something I want to bring up Monday, given recent developments with what we've seen at the gas pump. I was just concerned that gasoline, diesel budget for this next year would be negatively impacted, so.
It's a good point. So we're in that East River Consortium. For whatever reason, and I don't know why this was set this way, but the contract runs September to September, you know. So we're locked in until the end of, Linda, am I correct? The end of this September.
We have good rates. Yeah, the old.
They're taking a hit,
Oh, yeah,
which I'm not,
it's like $3.
I mean, business is business. I'm not entirely upset over it because if we go over, we get hit with market price, and if we have any left, they charge us a storage fee. Just mind numbing. So I think if it doesn't drag on, Todd, we're pretty good.
And if we don't use all we have, even with the storage fee, it's still gonna be lower than what the rates are right now, so like that might take us into. Forward. If-
We'd be better off with, right, having leftover than going,
Right.
definitely going to market.
Yeah, I
Valerie?
mean, but anything can happen, because they base the market when time comes down to September, so we can all pray that things are gonna get better.
Or at least for that 2 weeks where we try to lock it in.
Yeah.
Valerie,
Sir. First off, I did see the minutes from the previous meeting, and I see that you've made some efforts. Or at work on the blight ordinance situation if it goes further, and I appreciate you doing that. I know that the plate is full here, but to take the time to start doing some investigation, let me know if I can be of help.
thank you. I found two, what I thought were comparable. One's New Milford and the other is Newtown. And what I found most interesting was the recommendation, the strong recommendation was that your blight committee is made up of very specific individuals. So you have a fire marshal, a health official. It's not random like most of our boards and commissions, community members. So I found that very interesting, but they are lengthy.
So it becomes more of a technical assessment than a personal or subjective one.
Yeah, it's strongly centered on health and safety. In other words, the building official is another one. So things of that nature, but keep you
I'd be
posted.
much more likely to support that than a subjective,
Mhm.
which was never your intention, I know,
No.
so, yeah. But that was always our worry that it turns into that, or it could.
Yeah,
It's wrong.
exactly. No, it has to be kept away from that as much as possible, but definitely safety issues.
Yeah.
Could abound from this.
Right.
The other thing I'm going to bring up is, in the budget, proposed budget. I am concerned, and I inadequately phrased it the other day, as I was fresh off a trip, didn't know where I was. I probably fell in the parking lot. But all I want to say is that we have different departments, assessors, tax collector, land use, building, and we have professional assistants or people who are being trained to become those administrative assistants, I'd rather just call them. And it shouldn't just be a part-timer coming in to fill hours. Because, as I said the other day, for instance, we had a tragedy with the town clerk who could step in immediately, seamlessly, somewhat. And is that person compensated properly before they have to take over? Same thing with the tax collector. In maybe 3 more tax cycles, that person likely might retire. I don't know for sure. But do we have an administrative assistant up to speed? I mean, we have a $1.7 billion grant list. And that person has to wrangle in at least $19 million worth of property tax. It's a highly important and regulated, thank goodness, position. And do we have an administrative assistant that's there and ready to go, not just part-time fill-in?
Mhm.
So I just would like perhaps the selectmen to look at these different departments as you would a business.
Mhm.
You have the chief of the department, maybe staff, definitely administrative assistant as second in command. And yeah, we might have to spend a few more bucks to ensure that, but I think it's worthwhile.
Thanks, Valerie. So let me see if I can help clarify that a little bit. So for years, we've had a tax collector and a tax assistant. Historically, the assistant or the clerk was budgeted for 15 hours a week and rarely used those. The request to add these hours for 52 weeks in the current or coming fiscal year was to add hours for 52 weeks when the need was only January and July. That's where the board couldn't justify
Sure.
all those hours. Now, to your point, the assistant that is there now received an increase in hours and salary, hourly pay this year in January due to the need and due to the certification, but we couldn't make that further leap. We couldn't budget for 52 hours when only 52 weeks when only 8 were needed. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, but also there's so many courses, training, certification, in a lot of these positions, not just that one. And we're gonna be losing some good people, I think, because it's weird, but who can live on 20 grand nowadays, you know? Or
No,
whatever the number might be.
we're very proactive and we're all on the same page in paying for our employees' education and certification. So the person who occupies that seat now, by the end of this fiscal year, will have all the necessary certifications. Whereas in the past, an individual was elected, the state gives them 3 years to sit in the seat and to get certified. So for that amount of time, our tax collectors are not certified.
Hmm.
So yes, to your question, we always look forward to what do we need to do to keep this position? This is an important position. What do we do?
And there's a lot of investment, not only in money, but education. And we don't want them walking elsewhere after we train them. And then they go to a bigger town and command a better salary. I'm certain.
No, no,
Don't know, this is just hypothetical on my.
yeah, but again, the board, when you make a budget, you have to be fiscally responsible, and to budget for 44 weeks that's not needed is not responsible.
Well, I just think that it's worthwhile to reassess the people we have here and their contribution to the administration, safety, you name it, and $1.7 billion.
We've made sure there's no,
Amazing to me.
yeah, no, I agree, but we've made certain there's no gap. We have coverage for those 2 months.
But is it an ongoing professional, dedicated person who will be an administrative assistant, not just coverage? And this, because I was totally surprised to see that our treasurer, which I think is a pretty vaulted position, is, and I know it's part-time, but still responsibility, the 20,000 a year. I mean, whoa. That's amazing to
But
me.
that person works 10 hours a week, they're done.
I know that, but I'm just saying that started me thinking about other positions.
And I appreciate that, Valerie, but my sense would be if we suddenly took what the position required, how many hours a week it required, the education required, the way every other 19 municipalities in the Northwest Corners pays, and throw that out the window. I just think that's wasteful.
Why have a treasurer?
Why have a treasurer?
Yeah.
It's
A separate
required.
treasurer. It's a hire instead of
No, it's an elected.
folding that into, the basic financial position that we have already.
Hey, Jim.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Valerie. We looked through all these things, and to have you say that we don't that we're not on this, we spend hours making sure that we're staffed properly and that we pay properly. And we also provide benefits that other towns don't provide. So we have, I believe, over the years I've been here, done an excellent job of maintaining the staff at the levels that we need. And I totally agree with Jim that we're not going to hire extra hours just because. We've done a good job of keeping our staff. We don't lose many people at all. Correct, Jim? People don't leave us for a number of good reasons. So I think we've done what you've talked about, and I appreciate what you have to say. But I'm fully confident in the budget we presented and the staffing we presented.
Jay, let me just add to that, because you weren't in the finance meeting, you got called out, you got singled out as somebody who's done a very good job. The omission of Jim and myself getting mentioned as doing a very good job in this area was painful, but you got singled out and highly praised. And Valerie heard that, so, you really did. And it's true, Jay has done a marvelous job. I appreciate it, Valerie, because we can always do better and always need to look at these things. So I'm glad that you're looking at it. But Jay is right.
You guys are doing, it's just that I'm looking more from the outside now than I have
Sure.
at this detail. And I see these as professional placements. And
Well-
instead of part-time filling in an hour here or there, whenever. I understand your situation. I'm just saying going forward. And what woke me up is thinking about the treasurer position that we can't quite fill for other circumstances, but who wants the job? That's.
Valerie, one of the things about the treasurer's job is that it's now a hired position. So we can post it and hire somebody with whatever skills from anywhere. Doesn't have to be from the town. So
You take a tax collector, Jay.
So right now, Valerie, to your point about the treasurer, we went to the DTC as was protocol.
Sure.
They came back with a candidate, that candidate's interested, there's no shortage of a treasurer.
Well, I mean, it took a while to get that candidate and to need to see that, you had to actually search out there. Whereas I
But
would
if they
think
had
it would be
posted it-
a slam dunk for a lot of people until I was aware of what it paid. I'm not suggesting you pay it differently. I'm just saying that was my aha moment, like, are we really keeping staff, paying them well?
But was your second aha, oh, it's only 10 hours a week, 20,000 is not sure. Okay.
It wasn't the vaulted position that I thought it was.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I'd forget it.
I don't know too many municipalities in the Council of Governments, if this helps at all, Valerie, that have more than 10 to 15 hours. The only one that would be Torrington. All the municipalities around are, it's a stipend, their hours, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be specific to that position. That was just odd to me.
Yeah, we
could look more carefully
Yeah.
at what we're doing with our staff.
Yeah, it's important to understand, and I'm glad you asked the questions so we can explain it. Because at face value, you're right, that's inaccurate. That's not the true case. Now, you realize that we're not gonna do 44 weeks a year for no reason. We can't, that's irresponsible. We make sure our staff gets educated and certified. We pay for that, and then we reward them with a pay increase once they do. So I feel strongly, we do all the things we need to do to keep and retain our staff. But thank you, Valerie. Anybody else? I think Michelle, technically a visitor, you're good. Okay. I make a motion.
Technically only. I'll second it.
Jay, I got your email about the meeting last night.
yeah, sorry about that. But what can I tell you? I just got off the golf course, so got here as fast as I could.
Jay, it's Friday tomorrow.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm playing again then, but so are we adjourned here? So can we just talk for a second then? Jim?
No, we can't, Jay.
You can call Jim.
All right. I'll do that.
You gotta close the meeting.
Well, I wasn't asking, I was asking what we voted on, what you voted on in terms of the budget. What did you guys
Oh.
decide to do?
Well, we haven't adjourned yet. We can talk
No, we
about that.
did,
So the Board of Finance
Yeah,
had some questions, one to do with EDC, which Michelle is gonna provide the information they requested. They wanted reinstated the COLA for the Board of Selectmen, and they wanted us to look into using not all, but almost all of the citation money to offset the capital budget. So another
Yeah.
$200,000 in that, and we made a motion and voted to send that revised budget back to the Board of Finance, Jay.
okay. All right. I mean, I understand why, you know how I feel about it, so I guess we'll have to look forward and see what we can do in terms of the whole fund balance issue and all down the road. So, I just think that's premature, but I understand why.
So I did.
Yep.
Jay, I did talk to the board about what we had discussed about the concern about the fund balance and how we're gonna handle that moving forward. And if we could have sort of a joint meeting with 2 or 3 representatives from the board to sit with the Board of Selectmen in a meeting and discuss what we all feel might be a good option going forward.
All right, that's great. Thank you. I think that'll be a big, I think that's really important that we do that. So thank you for that.
Jay, the COLA means you get another $40 this year, so that's another sleeve of Pro V ones, so you're good to go.
Fantastic. Thank you.
I think we agreed to do this thing with the Board of Finance, Linda. We said like early summer,
Yes.
like no later than August to.
Right.
Yeah,
it goes-
and Linda and I had a chance to talk a little bit about some of the things I think we should look to prepare. Trying to look at long term and how our budget will go up and what how the grand list is going and where we can see where there's how we raise revenue in order to cover that fund balance if we spend it down. So I think try to do it in increments, not have to do it 1 year all of a sudden. That's what I'm
Yeah.
looking to do. So great. All right, you guys got to go in and have some barbecue.
All in favor of adjournment?
All right.
Aye.
All right, folks, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.